Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Purple Lassie, a journey through the thoughts and fantasies of a teenage girl. Now, let's listen carefully to a short story. The story takes place many years back, but still it's relevant in our society. The story takes place in those times when the girls are taught to cook, to do the household chores, and are married off. Education was something that was beyond their imagination. In those times, there lived a little girl who was really different from all the others. She had a lot of questions in her mind. One day, her mother wanted her to learn how to cook. She asked, "Why, Mom? Why should I learn now to cook?" And her mother replied, "So that you can feed yourself whenever required." She thought, yeah, fair enough. So she learned how to cook. Another day, her mother wanted her to learn to do the household works. She again asked why, and her mother replied, "So that you can become self-dependent." She thought, fair enough. So she learned how to do the household works. And then another day, her parents came to her and said to her that, "We are gonna get you married off." She again asked why, and her parents replied that, "Because all the other girls at this time are getting married." She thought, all are getting married, so should I? No, it's not a good reason. I'm not gonna get married. Her parents were really surprised to see her determination. Any other parents at that time would have forced her into marriage, but her parents didn't do that. So now she had a lot of time in her hands. She joined her father's academy, she started reading many hymns, increased her knowledge. And on one day, an invitation from the king had come for the best scholar from that academy. The king was going to compile the knowledge, all the knowledge in the universe, into a book. So he wanted the help of scholars indeed. And after the discussion, the members of the academy found that the best scholar in their academy was this girl. They sent her to the venue, and when she reached there, she was really surprised to see a lot of men. She hardly could find any women there. She doesn't care about these things. She climbed the dais to take her seat, and suddenly a huge uproar was heard. "Oh, look at a woman! How can she sit in the scholars' panel? Look at her dress. It seems like so provoking. It seems like she's not a female of good reputation. Oh, stop her! It's a sin against God." Such and so a lot of voices shouting at her. She was really frightened. She didn't know what to do. And the king, after discussing with her, after a discussion, he declared that, "Let's have a discussion. If anyone have any objections, they can debate with the girl. And if the girl win, she will join the discussion panel." Everyone agreed on it. And the scholars, the men there, gathered there, they gathered, and after discussing together, they selected a representative, a very old scholar from them. And the man stood up and asked her, "What do you want to prove by joining the discussion? Whether women are better than men?" She replied, "No, sir, I just don't want to prove anything. I just came here to join the discussion, to quench my thirst for knowledge, and for nothing else." The men said that higher education is not meant for females because female intellect is weaker than men, and it's written in the hymns too. The girl was really surprised to know that, hearing the man's statement, the girl asked him to prove that female intellect is weaker than men. The man, after thinking seriously, couldn't find anything. So the girl stood up boldly and she said, "All the men gathered here can ask me any questions to prove that female intellect is weaker than men." Seeing her boldness, seeing her courage, and seeing her confidence, the man was frightened. He started shouting at her, "Oh, this girl is asking some unnecessary questions. this and that. He started saying something and this and that, and finally he admitted to the king that, Your Majesty, I don't have a certain proof. I don't have anything to prove that female intellect is weaker than males. So I need to have a deep study of this thing. So I would like to end this discussion. And finally, the girl joined the discussion panel. And when the final draft was made, many a hymns was composed by her. Nobody knows what happened to her after this time. Some says that she made a book for her hymns. Some says that she have started an academy for girls. And different people, different opinions. But everyone accepts one thing, that the girl who asked why became the first female scholar at that time. It's a very short story on a girl who asked why by Sean Mehta. So, as you all have understood, I am here to talk about women empowerment. Always remember one thing: an empowered woman, she's powerful beyond measure and beautiful beyond description. Taking the case of India, particularly India, Indian culture gives women its utmost importance, right? When we talk about the role of women in the society, women play a very crucial role in the society, and the whole family is dependent on her even for the daily activities. We know a woman plays the role of mother, sister, wife, homemaker, a teacher, nurse, and everything at the same time while she's catering to everybody's need. And when we take the case of a woman who is working, who has a job, she have to fulfill the job requirements, responsibilities. At the same time, she have to look after her home and family. So, the life of a woman is not that easy as you think. It's really hard. But it's getting very little or no respect and no acceptance in the society. Now, let's look about certain evils that hinders women empowerment. The first thing is that gender inequality. Inequality, when we speak about inequality, we know it is treating something unequally. So when it's gender inequality, it is treating men and women unequally for the same purpose, for the same task. For example, if we take the case of rural societies, even today there are some societies who only encourage their sons to go and to educate themselves. They don't want her daughters to educate themselves. And a trend that is seen today in some other societies is what? The parents, they educate their daughters after coming to a particular point, after completing their courses, they're soon getting married off. And here, what happens is that the girls or the women is not getting a period for enjoying their life, to get a job, to become independent. They always want her to depend on the males in the family. So the first evil, that is gender inequality. The next evil is domestic violence. Skimming through the columns of the newspapers, we know it's very much important to stress this thing, that is domestic violence against women in today's society. We know women today are prone to abusive marriages, and though divorce is a taboo in the society, we know that there are still violations against the women, both mentally, physically, and everything. On the basis of many things. For example, the major thing that happens in today's society is dowry. Dowry, which is actually prohibited by the law, it still takes place in a society. Women in today's society face a lot of problems by this thing, that is dowry. And then when we have to talk about the third one, that is economic independence. A common view in our society is that the male ones, the man, the father, or the husband, or something like that, the male ones should be the sole breadwinner of the family. That is, women are not getting an opportunity to do a job and to earn and to be the breadwinner of the family. Because as I've mentioned earlier, women are not getting in some societies, women are even not getting quality education. In this case, since there is lack of education, they will not be able to do any jobs. They will not be able to get any jobs, right? So how can they become economically independent? So to become economically independent, we have to speak about the fourth evil, that is education. It's not the evil, it's something that we have to do. That is women and education. Giving women quality education is important, it's a key to women empowerment. And the final one is decision making. Women and decision making. Women empowerment will take place around only in that society which accepts women to be a decision maker. And it should start from the smallest unit, that's a family. We should allow women to take place in the decision making process, when for our family, then to the state, country, and all. So we should accept women to be or we should also allow women to participate in decision making. So finally, reaching to the conclusion, I'm not saying that there have been no progress for women for doing or for women empowerment from the time we got independence to now. I don't say like that. We know there's a huge progress for women empowerment. We can find that more and more women are getting quality education today, more health facilities, and the government as well as many other organizations are taking their steps to increase the women to increase or to give women education and to develop their skills so that they can become economically independent. Okay, so what I would like to say is that we are looking forward for a nation which give women equal opportunities for equal pay and equal respect as equal to men. Always remember one thing: women is like a tea bag. Okay, because we will never realize how strong she is unless she get into the hot water. So all my dear women, all my dear girls, get ready to jump into the hot water. Always remember one thing: we are looking forward for a nation which gives equal opportunities for women, for equal pay and equal respect as equal to men. Thank you.